All right, you guys. This your boy back at y'all with another one. Shouts out to the Lions Den basketball community. Get the video like and subscribe. Ring the bell whenever I go live. That way you get those notifications. Since YouTube has me under a shadow ban, it would be very nice if you guys share these videos and help me get me out of this jam that I'm in. Let's get right down to business. Oh, by the way, I also have a Patreon too. I'll leave a link to the Patreon when this stream is over with. I have a $3, $5, and a $10 bracket for my Patreon. This is videos that I talk about on there that I won't talk about on here. And I get far more explicit than I do on YouTube. All right, so let's get down to business. So Anthony Davis re-injures his Achilles injury at the 2:36 mark of the second quarter last night in their game against the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Lakers subsequently end up losing this game 122-105. Davis left the game in the second quarter when he was trying to drive to the basket on Jokic. So Kyle Kuzma ended up starting the second half for Anthony Davis. Now, the Lakers are off today. They play the Minnesota Timberwolves on Tuesday. So it'll be widely expected that Anthony Davis does not play in that game. And they have another game on Thursday at home against the Brooklyn Nets. I don't see Anthony Davis playing that game either. Now, he did tell the Lakers medical team, the medical team did tell Anthony Davis that everything looked fine, but they're going to do an MRI later on in the day, and we're going to get the synopsis from that MRI. Now, me personally, I believe the Lakers rush Anthony Davis back from this injury. An Achilles injury is nothing to play with. It is nothing to really nothing to treat it as a walk in the park, like you do a contusion or a bruise or something like that. Achilles injuries can have far serious ramifications if not treated with this proper care. Now, I believe the Lakers should have shut down AD until he was fully healthy. You're at a point in the schedule where you were playing a lot of these teams where you didn't really need AD. You didn't need AD when you played Memphis. Right? Games like that, you really don't need AD. Which leads to another question, right? Are the Lakers pushing their star players too hard? Now, LeBron has been questionable all year with various injuries on the injury report, but he's found his way on the court. I think the Lakers need to consider sitting some of these guys down, like the LeBrons and the ADs of the world, because really, truth be told, they really don't need them during the course of the regular season because that's not where the money's made. Now, on games against like the Brooklyn Nets and, the elite teams in the NBA, then yeah, you want to play them. But when you're playing teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks and all that, and the Chicago Bulls, you don't need to play AD. You don't need to play LeBron. You got enough comparable pieces on that team the way you can get away with not playing those guys 30 minutes a night. Now, I know why, LeBron will want to play 30 minutes a night because he's chasing after that MVP. And I think that's a mistake. Now, Obviously, AD's going to miss some more time now after he re-aggravates this Achilles. And can LeBron do it by himself? Because we've heard the LeBron James Protection Agency, his stance, make it out to be like this guy is going to be the end all be all, and he don't need no help. He's going to do it all. He's going to bring the Lakers back to prominence by himself. But this is the problem with that. He had the opportunity to do that the year before they brought in AD, and they didn't even make the playoffs, right? Because remember, he came back from that injury, and the Lakers were 27 and 26. Man, he was in playoff mode, right? But you're losing games to the Cavs, you're losing games to the Knicks, you're losing games to the Bulls and the Hawks and whatnot. But yeah, he was in playoff mode, right? So the Lakers don't make the playoffs. They traded away guys like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Mo Wagner. He ended up getting moved to the Washington Wizards for AD. And they won the championship. But he wanted his damn respect. So with AD being up, it's going to be expected that Kyle Kuzma moves to the starting lineup. Now, Kyle Kuzma, we all know this guy can play when given the minutes. So a lot of guys who, have short-term memory loss and have, the brain of a microwave, clearly forgot how big of how big time of a player Kyle Kuzma is when given the minutes. So when your minutes get cut, then of course your production is going to get cut. So, but a lot of people last year were talking about, well, Kyle Kuzma, he don't need a championship ring, so we're all going to sign a petition that Kyle Kuzma don't receive a championship ring. Are you out of your mind? Really? Kyle Kuzma as a starter has averaged 14.3 points in his 6 starts. Now, when he comes off the bench, he only averaged 9.6 points. And as a starter, he actually takes 4 more shots a game. So, not only Kyle Kuzma is impacted by him going to the starting lineup, a ball hog like Dennis Schroeder, you can rest assured that he's gonna, hog more of the usage. So those are the 2 guys right there off the bat that stands out from AD's injury. Another guy that gets impacted is Montrezl Harrell. I think Montrezl Harrell, he's going to get more minutes. And Marc Gasol, man, I don't know what the Lakers were thinking by signing Marc Gasol. The one move they shouldn't have made was trading away JaVale McGee. That move was completely idiotic. Shout out to Red Pill Alpha, Rudy Breeze, and my boy J Dog in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for being up here this morning. On National Side Chick Day. And more importantly, President's Day, you know what I'm saying? But typically February 15th is National Side Chick Day. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back on topic. Them trading away JaVale McGee was the fucking worst move they could have made. Cause you already let Dwight Howard get away. And you know how much JaVale McGee is as a rim protector, as a guy that can, get you some rebounds, some putback dunks, a guy that can literally protect the rim. But no, they trade him to the Cleveland Cavaliers and they bring in Marc Gasol, who is a shell of his former self. He has not been good at all. And he plays his usual 20 minutes a night, but he's not been good. He has not been productive in those 20 minutes that he's getting. Now, the Lakers are in a now. Should Anthony Davis miss a period of time in which he's widely expected to miss a period of time, I don't know why the Lakers would even consider bringing him back at this point, right? Are they going to make any trades? To me, the answer is no, and this is why. Unless you're willing to give up the main pieces like Schroeder and Horton Tucker, because you know a lot of people are going to ask for Horton Tucker, Montrezl Harrell. Unless you're willing to gut your roster, this is really not a whole lot of trade scenarios that favors the Lakers. They don't have the draft picks, or if they do have draft picks, is very scarce, right? So the only other way to upgrade the roster is by gutting the people that you have on the roster right now, which means you're going to have to come off of Horton Tucker because teams are going to ask for him. And I don't think the Lakers need to give him up. That would be another bad move. Do not give up Horton Tucker. Now, a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, bye, see ya. But we all know that's not going to happen because that's LeBron's friend. So that trade's not going to happen either. So, which leads to this, right? So I can see guys like Markieff Morris. They could probably buy out a guy like Markieff Morris because he's been bad. I mean, he's been practically worthless. So I can see them either trading him or buying him out if they really want to make a move. And then there's let me see who else is there. See Montrez, you can possibly buy out Marcus Gasol. But outside of that, I just really don't see a whole lot of options out there unless you just sign some guys to a veterans minimum off the street. There's Kenneth Faried still out there. I mean, man, he's a high energy player, and but man, I just don't see how the Lakers going. I think the Lakers going to struggle, man. I think they're really going to struggle. I think LeBron's age is going to really show. And for all these guys out here, talking this shit about him in year 18, and they've never seen anything like that and all that. Man, look, his age is really going to show now. So they're going to have to sit him down, LeBron down too, and run guys like Kuzma and Dennis Schroeder, even though he's a freaking ball hog, an inefficient ball hog at that. And Dennis Schroeder, he's been bad too. So I think a guy like Kyle Kuzma is going to have to step it up. And they're going to have to sign some players, some a guy like Dwayne Dedmon. I like him. You're really asking Dwayne Dedmon to be a game changer. You just ask him to protect the rim and rebound. And Dwayne Dedmon is practically good at that, right? Maybe a guy like Noah. You're going to maybe Joakim Noah, another high energy guy. You can bring him in, get rid of Marcus Gasol, bring in Noah. Noah, he can be a pest at the rim. Maybe he can, get some rebounds and some putbacks, stuff like that. But those would be the kind of guys. If I'm the Lakers, them the kind of players I'm looking for. Somebody that's going to protect the rim and rebound the basketball. You're not asking them to do a whole lot. And Jared Dudley, get him the fuck out of there. How can I ever forget about him? Why is he even on the roster for one? Get Jared Dudley ass up out of there. Where you supposed to be like this, locker room leader or something like that? You already got one in LeBron. So what purpose does Jared Dudley serve on the Lakers right now? He's just taking up a roster spot. And then I saw him on an injury report one night. What the fuck is he on the injury report for? Like, what he strained his hamstring trying to push the fucking Gatorade carton or some shit? Like, what is he on the injury report for? Do I see a trade for John Collins? No. Atlanta's not coming off of John Collins. Sorry. They're not coming off of John Collins. Now, that being said, I've seen stranger things that happen, but from a logical sense, I don't see Atlanta trading John Collins. No, because they're going to ask for a lot. You're not going to trade away a up and coming player like John Collins, like John the Baptist, and not get anything remotely close to equal value for him. Just not going to happen. But yeah, if this, a lot will depend on what the result of the MRI is. If the MRI comes back negative, then the Lakers going to stand pat. They're going to shut down AD. They're going to stand pat, and they're going to weather the storm with who they have. But if that MRI comes back and AD is going to be forced to miss like the rest of the season, they're going to make some moves. They're gonna make some moves because right now the team as constructed without AD is not good enough to win a championship. That team as constructed right now will not be good enough to win a championship. So they're gonna have to make a move. Now, what moves they make, I have no idea. But the moves they do make will consist of probably them coming off of one of the main pieces like Dennis Schroeder or Montrezl Harrell or Horton Tucker, which I know the Lakers don't want to give up, but if they really trying to contend for a championship, they might have to come up off of him. I just don't see me personally. I'm like I said, I'm just speculating here, but I just don't see a legitimate trade scenario without Horton Tucker being in that trade talk. They're going to ask for him. So I do believe, and then another thing that impacts is the interior defense as well. With AD being out, the interior defense is going to be compromised. The Lakers were one of the best teams at defending the paint last season because they had a slew of players like Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and AD at the rim. So it would be hard for teams to get in there and try to get buckets at will on the interior. But they don't have that now. They really don't have. And you saw it last night when AD left the game. Jokic got whatever he wanted when he wanted. Marc Gasol cannot defend Joker. And then you had Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell, you saw that last year when he was with the Clippers. Joker just destroyed Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell had no answers for Joker. So if they encounter the Denver Nuggets without AD, that's going to be a serious problem. That's a serious problem they're gonna need to address. They literally have nobody that can stop him outside of AD. And then we go to the let's talk about the game on Thursday night, because that, Timberwolves, they should beat Minnesota. All right, Lakers should beat. I think that team's good enough to beat Minnesota. All right, but let's talk about the game on Thursday night though. That's the game I really want to talk about. Let's get, the eyes in the NBA is going to be on that game when Brooklyn travels to Los Angeles to play the Lakers or whatever, right? So you got the three-headed monster in KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, and you're going against LeBron, right? Because I already see what the excuses going to come from. The excuses going to be like, well, LeBron ain't had AD and all this other type of shit. I already know what's going to be said. Now, these same LeBron fans that was talking about how LeBron don't need AD is going to be the main ones come back and say, well, LeBron didn't have AD. But I need y'all to understand, which one is it? Which one is it? Speaking of KD, he got a hamstring strain. So he'll be out the next two games. So he'll be out tonight against the Sacramento Kings, and then the Brooklyn Nets on a back-to-back against the Phoenix Suns. So Kevin Durant will not play those games. But you can rest assured he will play against the Lakers on Thursday night. Shout out to Electric Grid in the building, man. Appreciate you for being up in here. Now they say this injury for KD is not serious or something they need to worry about long term. But reports are saying that he will play. He will make it his mission to play against the Lakers on Thursday night. KD not missing he's not missing that game. I can tell y'all right now he's not missing that game. And truth be told, I think the Brooklyn Nets Sacramento game tonight, that's gonna be a burner. Because neither team plays defense. Neither team and both teams like to run. So that game gonna be a burner tonight, man. Kyrie is gonna destroy everything moving. But anyway, the Lakers, you already see where the excuses are coming. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, when the Lakers play Brooklyn and they lose to Brooklyn, the first thing they're gonna say, well, we ain't had AD. Now, this is the same people that would run around here talking about how LeBron didn't need AD, but be the first one to say, oh, well, the Lakers ain't had AD. We don't know what to expect when it comes to those two teams or whatever like that. We got to see how they are when the Lakers play the Brooklyn Nets with full strength. So here's my question to all you LeBron fans. Which one is it? Because you can't have it both ways. I'm not going to let you have it both ways. You're not going to politic your way into having both ways. That's why motherfuckers like Ghost Town and Myron Jones, they can't stand a person like me. They can't stand me. They hate my voice. They hate me. Because I won't let them get away with that shit. I won't let them get away with being a slick talker Skywalker. I won't let them get away with that. They're going to have to account for the sins that they have created for themselves. All the LeBron stands in the media is going to have all them excuses lined up. And this is another question I got, right? This is another question I got. How is this dude number one in the MVP discussion? Right? How is he in the MVP discussion? right? And I don't want to hear this shit about, well, he the best player in the league. Just because you're the best player in the league don't make you the most valuable player. Just because you're the best player in the league does not make you the most valuable player. There's a difference. Now, I want to show y'all something. I'm going to share a screen with y'all, right? Because I need everybody to understand something. I need everybody to understand where I'm coming from with this, right? That's what they do, man. When they have nothing to talk about, they deflect and pivot to other people and other subjects and shit, right? That's what they do. That's what they do, Electric Grid. That's what they do when they have nothing to explain. They pivot and they deflect, and and they all of a sudden get amnesia, right? Now, LeBron James for his career averages 27 points a game. I want y'all to see all this, right? Because this will flat out debunk all this nonsense about, oh, well, he's the most valuable player, right? Now, for his career, he's averaged 27, 7.4, 7 assists. He's averaging less points at this stage of his career. He's averaging less than his career average, and he's slightly better in rebounds and assists. So here's my question, right? These are pedestrian numbers. So how in the hell is this guy in the MVP discussion? How? He's not on the best team. Yeah, he's the best. He arguably the best player in the league, but he's not on the best team. And you know what my policy is. If you follow me throughout these months and years, I've been doing videos on YouTube, right? What do I always say? The best player on the best team is the MVP of the league. Period. The best player on the best team is the MVP. Not all. You do all this PER and you do all these other advanced stats, and you got to use those advanced stats in its proper context. You just cannot just randomly throw out numbers and all. Well, yeah, it's a 31 player efficiency rating, right? When we all know that those advanced stats have their set of flaws in it. But the one thing that's not a flaw, the one thing that's always stood the test of time, the best player on the best team during the course of the regular season is the MVP of the league. We're not talking playoffs. We're not talking, legacy. We're not talking about none of that bullshit that a lot of people tend to muddy the waters with. The MVP, the most valuable player, is a regular season award. Period. It does not matter what they did in the playoffs. It is a regular season award. And truth be told, the MVP in the league, in my opinion, has lost its luster, considering that a lot of the media members that vote for MVP have their inherent biases towards or against a certain player, because they're throwing stuff that has nothing to do with the MVP. They want to put a player's injury history in there. They want to put in, his teammates, or, all this other stuff that has nothing to do with the on-court performance of a player. The best player on the best team wins the MVP, period. And should have nothing to do with advanced stats. Should have nothing to do with their teammates. Shouldn't have anything to do with their injury history. Or nothing like that. The best player on the best team wins the MVP. Just keep it simple. We see evidence of that. Last year, Giannis won the MVP because he was the best player on the best team during the course of the regular season. You're going to have your outliers like your Russell Westbrook putting up a triple-double. And the OKC Thunder weren't even the best team that year when he won the MVP. It was just the fact that he put up a triple-double. And I think the last person to do that was Oscar Robertson, to average a triple-double during the course of the regular season. So, of course, you're going to have those outliers. But outside of those outliers, The best player on the best team wins the MVP, period. So how can a dude that's averaging less than his career average right now be in the MVP discussion? Or because I know how, maybe after he didn't win the MVP last year and he went on this tirade about it, even putting out cryptic tweets about, how he need to, change from a square to a circle and all this other nonsense, right? And this is the politics about the NBA I don't like. You got these guys that talk about the media and how I did all this for you, and I was the reason why you came up in media and all this stuff, and you turn your back on me and not vote for me for MVP. Get the fuck out of here. These are pedestrian numbers for LeBron James. Now, LeBron James were averaging like 30, 8, and 9. Okay, then maybe you'll have me sold a little bit for MVP discussion. But how can a dude that's averaging less than his career average be in the MVP discussion? Just because you're the best player does not make you the most valuable player. Shout out to my boy Intelligent Psycho in the building, man. Good to see you, man. Always good to see you. He's one of the first supporters of my channel, man. I really do appreciate you, homie. But yeah, this dude, he gonna have to step it up. That 25 points a game, he gonna have to average a triple double. If you want me to be sold on your king, Myron Jones, to the moon, right? And that whole town, right? If you two jackasses want me to be sold on LeBron James being the MVP, then this dude need to go out there and average a triple double. 25, 8, and 8 is pedestrian numbers for a guy like him. Like for you guys that make him out to be the king, 25, 8, and 8 is pedestrian numbers. I'm ashamed of you two. Because you two run around here, grabbing this dude by the jock strap and you drank all of his masturbation juice. And for him that only averaged 25, 8, and 8, those are pedestrian numbers. I expect more from the king. I need him to show me why he's the best player in the league and why he's the MVP, as you guys make him out to be. All you LeBron James date licks. So what's it going to be? Either you're going to cook up an excuse for LeBron James losing all these games to the Brooklyn Nets and all these other elite teams in the league, or he's going to step it up. They win these games, and he'll be the primary reason why they win those games, and then he will be in the MVP discussion. And at that point, I will be sold. But until then, I'm not sold. This your boy. Scream at me. Hey!